camera guys was smart, and he just very slightly loosened the screw on the GoPro, so when it hit, it kind of went tucked in, and then it was fine, and it was all good. The only one we did, maybe we broke two. We broke two when I almost got hit by a car. We did one when it was a car was coming down. It's not in the film actually, because we had to change the stunt because of this. We had the car coming down, and then we had a piston inside to flip it over onto its back. And we had like a few cameras. We had like a bird's eye view. We had one on the camera car following, one on the car next to it, and then we had one spare red. And me being an idiot, I was like, oh okay, well let's get another angle then. So I went on the side of the road over here. And so I'm there with the tripod, and my goal is to just follow it as it comes across. And this wasn't a shot that I even really wanted in the film, but I should have it. And then Matt, my DOP, who will always make fun of me for this, put it behind this wall. And I was like, nah, that's not good. I need to be in front of the wall, not behind the wall. I need to get a clear view. I'm not going to be able to see it otherwise. And I fucking saw it, because this thing, that's coming. We had loads of GoPros dotted around on the floor as well for everything. And then this thing flips, and as it flips, there's just not enough power in the piston, and the car's too heavy, so instead of it going all the way over, it goes up and then down onto its front tire. And when it does that, it kind of pops and spins it across towards us, and now it's coming straight at us. But thank God, like our Hong Kong stunt team, Bristol Stunts, they're amazing guys. And Norman, the guy, like I've seen the behind the scenes footage now, and it's like, it's crazy how fast he must have turned that wheel. It must have been like an instinctive thing. It must have just been immediate that he just turned the wheel. Because I was there with the camera, and nowhere to lie it, so the car was probably at the end of this grill maybe. It just came barreling past. And I had a 16mm lens, and it still filled the frame with just the window. So yeah, after the thing happened, everyone's like, you okay? And trying to be all macho and shit. I was like, yeah, no, fine, it's okay, don't worry about it. Get back and then watch the footage in the post-pro area where the tents are, and everyone's watching it, and they're all going, ooh. I took a look at it, and then all of a sudden I just had this fucking breakdown for about like 15 minutes in the car. I died, Jesus Christ. But as a sub-part to that story, my parents, I didn't tell them. I was like, I'll tell them eventually. I'll just send them an image and say, don't worry, I'm okay. But stupidly, I told Todd Brown first from Twitch Film, and sent him this image, and then like that fucking guy is fast at putting up articles, because he went straight online and put it up and said, Gareth Evans, director of the raid, almost dies on set. And then my dad Googles every day, so I'm having to suddenly get on the phone. My mum's there, what's this about you almost dying? And I was like, hang tight, I'm still alive, you're still hearing from me, it's alright. But yeah, so we broke one GoPro in that one. So, yeah.
How many days was that car chase?
Car chase, we shot for about 12 days total. It was supposed to be 7 or 8, but then we lost 50% of shooting time every single day because the police wouldn't close the roads fast enough, and traffic wasn't really our biggest fan those days. I've learned every Indonesian swear word now because of it. So yeah.
Over here.
It was really a great movie. Thank you very much for showing
Thank
it
you.
to us. My son and I really liked a lot. My son in the front row. He thought it needed a little more blood, though.
Sorry?
He thought it needed more blood.
How old are you? How old are you? 7?
Yeah!
Come on. Yeah, come up, say it to us. Okay, so okay. So you know, it's not nice to punch people, right? Yeah, those are bad men. So, yeah. I have a 5-year-old girl back home in Jakarta, and I'm always nervous that she's going to see the laptop when I'm editing and stuff like that. I'm always like, this is a scary movie, you don't want to watch this. So she thinks I make horror films, which technically I think I do. But yeah, so did you enjoy the film? Yeah? Nice. What was your favourite scene?
No!
Car one? No?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, there we go. Did you block his eyes when the girl came from behind the curtain? I'm gonna have to change the subtitles in this film as well. Okay.
Over here again.
Hey, what's
Yes.
up? Karen Wadiasa. Julie, you're so scary. You're really scary. But for Garrett, is there a backstory for Julie's character?
Yes, it
And
is,
the
yes.
baseball book?
Yeah, I've got like an origin story for them that I was interested in doing a comic book for. Because we're thinking of doing a comic book for like the grade 1 and the grade 2 and then to expand out into the origin. Part of me doesn't want to tell the story, you know, because it's disturbing and it's a nightmare. Yeah, earmuffs. Oh man, I've sworn a lot tonight as well. So I should always scan the room first, in case there happens to be a 7-year-old watching my movie.
Let's go back on this side again.
Okay, sorry, the origin one, sorry. Okay, so, here we go. So, the origin was this, so, Hammer Girl and Baseball, yeah, I know, I'm being very careful right now. The Hammer Girl and
He
Baseball,
saw the movie. There's nothing more you can do. Tell it straight out.
Baseball Bat and Hammer Girl, yeah, you don't know the origin yet. Baseball Bat and Hammer Girl, the idea is that like when they're children, when they're very young, when they're 7, say 10, yeah, say 10, they're 10 years old, 10 or 11. The father is a very bad man, and basically they're sat at, every night they're like sat at this like dinner table, this small table. And the father pulls out a coin and then spins it on the table. And if it lands on heads, then it's Baseball Batman's turn to get treated terribly. If it's tails, it's Hammer Girl's time. And on one fateful night, it lands on tails. And then, as he's about to go for a Hammer Girl, Baseball Batman reaches forward and turns the coin over. And so that kind of angers the father even more, who kind of takes out on them even more than he's ever done so before, and they can't take it anymore, and they snap, and then, yeah. They end that night of punishment, and it will never happen again. Word spreads throughout their village, but before the police arrive, they're recruited by this young upstart who's kind of like, you know, this small rising gangster named Budjo, who's only 20 at that time. And so then they become, you know, trained by him to become people who would work for him and raised by him. And so, yeah, this idea, I wanted to kind of play on this idea of like, there's a childlike innocence about them in a weird way, despite what they do, where Baseball Batman's, you know, give me the ball. And so that's kind of like a kid hitting his ball over somebody's wall and asking for it back from the neighbor or something. Only this time, it's not in the backyard, but in somebody's cheekbone or something. And then with the Hammer Girl, we had like this, you know, we improvised this late, right? There was a little shoot where I said to Julie, I said, try this thing, just try this, let's see if this works. And when Bajo tells you guys to go off and get Rama, instead of like listening, nodding, and leaving, have your back to him so you've not heard it. So that when Baseball Bat walks past and he grabs your arm and pulls you out of your chair, you stumble, and then like a child you reach back for your hammers. And so there was like this little childlike touch that we started putting in there. So that's kind of like an origin thing, with hints of it in the film then, that we have these like childlike loss of innocence.
Really, knowing for the first time, a great sense of humor. Is it any impulse to go for another film in the Stephen Chow direction?
I love Stephen Chow movies, to us, but I don't think that's for me. It's like I love watching all sorts of martial arts films, but I think I found the type that I gravitate towards more in terms of as a filmmaker, and that's kind of I prefer like sort of like dark humor and sort of dry humor, as opposed to something more like slapsticky and you know what's the word for it, cartoonish. Because I love Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer. I think they're great films. I'm dying to see Journey to the West. It's just on iTunes today, so I'm trying to get that soon.
get to hear it if you can.
Oh, nice. Yeah. In the next day or two? What are you telling me for now? No, sorry. But no, I think I gravitate more towards like slightly serious stuff, and then when it comes to maybe one of the ones we do next, actually with Eco, and with Julie, I haven't talked to her about it yet, but probably with her as well, is something that might be actually, to be honest, a little bit softer in terms of the violent level, but still with that kind of serious tone. I want to try to sort of see if I can do something without having too much red on display.
You are a very funny guy. So I really want you to consider comedy.
Okay, here's why I would never ever want to do comedy in a film, right? Okay, so if it's a comedy film, okay, so if it's a drama or a romance or a horror or an action film and you're watching it in the theater, and if people aren't vocal, it's okay. You can't tell if they're liking it or not. They might just be reserved. They might just be okay. If I'm watching a comedy in a cinema and no one makes a sound, I know my film is I know it's terrible, and then it sucks. I'm becoming such a parent right now. It's like,
Who's next on this side?
Over here.
Over here, okay.
Yeah, just quick on the same subject. Beyond your
hello again.
Yes, I get around. It occurred to me. Anyway, on the same subject, beyond their origin story, were you inspired to create Batboy from Warriors and Hammer Girl from Old Boy?
No. Okay, Baseball Batman, that was basically a casino influence. That scene with Joe Pesci getting killed in Casino, put the creeps at me when I was a kid as well. And the sounds of that just freaked me out. So for me, that was the most visceral thing I'd seen. For Hammer Girl, the whole origin of that character design was from the first movie Miranda that we did. So in Miranda we used Silat Harimau, which is Tiger Star, and you use your palm to hit and then your fingers to grab, claw, pull, whatever. And so I wanted to do something with that again, but in a weapons base. And so I was like, well, what's a good weapon for that? And I was like, well, claw hammer. And then two of them is really, really good. So, and then also, in terms of look and character design, I wanted to get that kind of, an iconic look for her. Something that made her look stand out and look cool, because, you know, I grew up, like, obsessing over, like, Chungking Express because of that pop icon look from that movie, and I was like, okay, we want something similar-ish to that, but different.
Any chance of action scenes?
Maybe. Yeah. I hope so, yeah.
These are the last three. 1, 2, 3.
For the Akazawas, was the name Goto connected to
No. You've never seen a more scared foreigner in your life than when you read an article about the Rio guy? No. Absolutely not.
I just thought it was interesting that you used that name.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and okay, so there's been like little things that keep happening to me all the time, like this, like when we did the first raid, just before we were about to come out, like we had this whole scene in the first one where we had this sort of like Ambonese gang, yeah, the Machete gang, and we had them in the film, these guys in the film, and then about 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the film was about to come out, there was like a tribal war battle in Jakarta between an Ambonese gang and another group, and then all of a sudden, like Timo Chayanto, my wonderfully twisted friend, says, hey, there was a machete fight in Kumang. There was like this gang of like Ambonese guys and these other guys. They were like carving each other up on the streets. And then before I even had a chance to say like, don't send me a photo, he sent me this photo of this guy's face all and like that's Timo, he always sends me this stuff no matter how much I tell him not to. And that's the thing with me, like I'm fine with fiction, but if it's real, it's not good. I can't watch UFC either, it just drives me nuts, because it's just punching and stuff is rude.